Hi everybody, it's Steffi here from effieandcards.blogspot.co.uk and welcome back to my channel. Today's project is going to be this one. There's going to be some changes. I just want to use some of that gorgeous Disney stuff that I got from Every Craft's a Pound. This is some glimmer paper that I had in my stash, and it goes on the sides, and then we've got Tiana here on the back. You open the ribbon and it opens up like this. On this side here we have this little card here, and I've used one of the pop-outs from the die cut pad, and I've just stuck that on here, and when you open it up it is a little twist and pop, and you can just pop some little photos on here, and I just thought that was dead cute. Next, I've kept the pages really plain, and I've let the paper do all of the talking on this album. So we've got Belle on the front here, and then we've got this one here with all the different princesses on. We've got Rapunzel, and then this lovely feathery paper, Tiana, oh, and then the feather one again, I didn't put that in very well, Cinderella, oh, it's coming out. And then the princesses again, Ariel, and the feathers, and then Snow White. And then in every page I have these inserts in here, and I've just put some 3x4 mats on there, on the front and on the back, and I've just used me punch from Stampin' Up! To do the tabs. So they just go back in like that, and then on the back here just got a little mini waterfall, got Snow White on the front there, and then I've just matted all of them in white, so you can either journal or you can, you know, put some photos on there. When I done this one, I didn't like how this fastened. It wasn't how I envisioned it. So the one I'm doing today, we're going to basically leave this bit off, and we're just doing it like this, okay? So we'll pop that to one side. Right, the first things you're going to need to do the cover, you're going to need 2 pieces of card, and for this I'm using my cherry cobbler card from Stampin' Up, and you want one to measure 11.5 by 8.5 and one 11.25 by 8.5, and they're just going to attach over by about 1/4 inch on there for the cover. Next, what you're going to need is 3 pieces of chipboard. You're going to need 2 pieces that measure 9 inches by 6.5, and that will just go on here. Then the bit for the spine is 6.5 inches by 2, and they're just going to sit on here like that. Okay, so I've already went ahead to save time, and I've put all of my double-sided tape on the back here. So we'll just start with these ones. And what you want to do on the 11.5 long piece, you want to just put some double-sided tape on the very end of one of these. You could just use 12 inch if you're using your 12x12 and just cut it down, but I didn't want to be doing any cutting and stuff on camera and it taking ages, so just burnish that down, okay, and then use my pokey tool here to take off that tape, and then come in with your other piece and just line that up. Use that tape to get it straight, and that's our bit ready. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach our chipboard, and normally I do mark an inch from the bottom just as like a guide, so I know it's going to be straight, but I actually forgot to do that, so I'm just going to do it by eye, and hopefully and not have it too wonky. Again, just going to take off all the release paper on here. You could use wet glue, which I used on my last album. If you wanted to, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So what you want to do is you want to try and line it up so it's got an even border all the way around. And try and get it as straight as you can. It looks pretty okay to me. And then we're going to come in, and I'm just going to take the release paper off the other two bits. I'll pause you while I do that and I'll be back. Right, so I've went ahead and I've took all of the backing off the double-sided tape, and I'm just going to line this up. And because this chipboard's quite thick, I'm going to leave a gap of around about, maybe it's just over 1/8. And just press that down, and I'm just going to flip it round, and we have our other piece here. And again, oh sorry, knock on the camera, just going to line that up best I can. Actually, this is going on very straight. Go back around this way so I can see a bit better. Still not completely straight, but as long as there's enough to cover this bit, then it's completely fine. You want to just run over that with your bone folder. Make sure it's stuck down nicely. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to, as with my last album, I'm going to put double-sided tape along the outer edge all the way around the card, and then again on the chipboard. So to save you watching us do that, I'm going to pause the video again and I'll be back once it's done. Right, so that's all done. I've put that all the way around and I've burnished it well with my bone folder. Next, what we're going to do, like we did on my last one for covering, is just cut the corners off here, okay? And just leave about 1/8 of an inch. I've already done 2 of the sides, so I'll do these ones with you. Actually, you can still see, and you just want to cut across like that, okay, and just leave that little gap. And then we'll do it again on this one. And then what I've done is I've already went ahead and I've done the 2 corners. So as with the last one, you just want to bend that over, go around all the sides. You can come in with your bone folder and just work it like that as well. And just carry on doing that all the way. Sorry, I'm taking off shorts just so I don't hit the camera. Oh. I'll do it again. Oops, I am hit the camera. Oh. Bend it round. Again like that, and then the last side. Just helps to break the fibres up in that card so it will actually bend better. Just work it over with your fingers. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the long sides first. So we're going to take off this piece of double-sided tape and the top bit on the chipboard as well. Oh, hope so it doesn't rip halfway along. So take that piece off, and then we're going to take that piece off there. And then again, like my last album, you just want to start from the middle and just pull that over, and then just work your way along, doing one side at a time, and then it's as easy as that. Okay, give it a good burnish down with your bone folder, and then we're just going to turn it round and we're going to do the other long side as well. So we're going to take off that release paper, and then pulling it over from the middle, just want to press that down and then continue just to pull that over, and as you're pressing it down, just pull, just to give it a nice finish. And again, go over with our bone folder and just make sure that that's nice and flat. Now, next thing we want to do is pull our sides in like that, and if you go along the top and then come round, that sits in nicely. Okay, so do that one, and then we'll push that one in with me. Bone fold and just check. Yeah, I think that one's going to be okay. So I'll go ahead and do them on all the sides, and then we can just start with covering these sides. Right, so now what we want to do is just peel off the tape. Nothing for it. Oh, there we go. Didn't think it was going to want to come off there. And so again, just pull it up from the middle and just push that down. We have got a little bit overhang there, but I can just trim that off, that's not a problem. And then again, we'll come round and we'll do the same on this side. Oh, sorry, I'm knocking the camera quite a bit today. I'm trying not to. So again, pull that over from the middle and just press that down. Pull that little piece off there. Put my scissors on it in a second. This bit's going to get covered anyway, so it's okay if you make any little mistakes like I do. It's the charm of it being handmade, isn't it? And because I'm not quite happy with that corner, I'm just going to snip that little bit off. So you can just come in with your scissors and just take the corner off like that, and that one's okay. So now what you want to do is you just want to run your bone folder down that crease where we've got our spine and just bring it up gently. You don't want it to crack. And there we go, we have a nice little fold there. I'm going to do the same on this one as well. And there we go, that is our album cover. I'm actually quite pleased. I've got no cracking on the spine. So that is how it's going to look. So what I'm going to do, we want to cover this piece here. And the piece I've got for this is just another piece of cherry cobbler. And this measures 5 7/8 by 3 1/4. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach it with some tape. I might use glue actually, and just lined up so it's got an equal distance going from the hinge here, if you can see, and then like an equal distance top and bottom as well. Okay, so actually I might just use my fuse. down there so it goes right to the edge. So I don't want it to go anywhere. Get any glue in, just push it around with your finger like that. And then bring it back in and just eyeball it. Right there, looks good to me. And then just press that down. Just like that, okay. So then what we can do next is we can put our paper. And the reason I've done the album this size is because the papers, these are the ones I'm using today, the Minnie Mouse ones. They are so pretty and I don't want to cut them down. I just love them so much. So the ones I've decided I'm going to use for my inside decoration is these two here. And they're going to overlap just a little bit of this hinge here. There's no measuring. If you've got these paper pads, then all you'll need to do is just pop them in. That's as simple as it is. So while I stick them down, I'm just going to pause it and I'll be right back. Right, so there we go. So all we need to do now is we're going to do our hinge for our pages. Okay, so we'll just pop that to one side. Now these are the pieces for our hinge, and I'm using the Stack the Deck hinge system this time. I can't remember who I first saw it by. Her name's on the tip of my tongue. I think she was called Laura quite a long time ago, but it's a really nice system. So you need 3 pieces of card. The first one measures 2.5 by 6, and then you want to score it at 1/2 inch on either side. And then just pop some double-sided tape, just making sure not to go over that score line. And then on the back, you just want to cover it all. Again, making sure you don't go over that score line. Your second piece is 2 inches by 6. And again, you score it 1/2 inch on either side. Put tape down on them end flaps and then just cover the back with it as well. And then the last piece is 1.5 by 6. Again, score it at 1/2 inch on either side and apply tape in the same places, okay? So we're going to start with by folding and burnishing these. I'll do that with all of them. Oh, I did a mess of that one, didn't I? I'm planning on giving this one as a gift, so I'm really hoping that it turns out really nice, and if I do send it, I hope that the recipient loves it or just likes it. It'll be enough for me. Right, next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to notch in on all these sides here on all pieces, okay. It just helps when you put the pages on, it helps it to sit better, okay. So that's all done. So now what we want to do is go ahead and make sure that our tape is burnished nicely. And then what you want to do is you want to take the release paper, just these 2 middle sections off, and this is off the middle sized one, okay. Just want to take them off like that. You do it in whichever order you like, but I do prefer to work it this way. Then what you want to do is you want to line it up in the middle of this one and try and leave it so it's got an even border, or as even as you can get it, on both sides. Just press that down. Just give me scissors. Just trim that little bit off there because it goes over. Mustn't have stood on very straight. And then again, this middle one is just going to sit in there as well. Just take off the backing paper and try not to get in the shot. I think that's about right, maybe. There it is now. Again, that little bit, must have done it a touch too big. It's alright, you can always save it. Right, so that's what you're going to have. And what you want to do is you want to train the pages to go both ways, so give them a good burnish going both ways. This will help with the flexibility of our pages. Okay. So now that that's done, we want to take off this middle section of the backing paper off, and we're going to attach this to our album. Bring the album back in. And what I'm also going to do is, because I want this, it's going to be holding pages and I want it to be extra strong, I'm just going to stick some wet glue on here as well. Excuse me. And then you just want to line it up so it's centered, and then just press that down. And again, just make sure you're working these pages so they're nice and flexible. So that's there, ready for our pages to be put in. Okay, which leads us on, let's get rid of this rubbish, because the next thing we're going to start with are the pages. And what you need for this, you will need a piece of card that measures 12 inches by 8.5, and then on the long side just want to score it at 6. You just want to fold that in half and burnish. Then you could add flaps onto this as well. You know, I just want to keep it really simple and let the gorgeous paper speak for itself. Okay, so before I do any gluing or anything, like any attaching of the pages, I want to, that wasn't quite straight, I just have to trim that a little bit off. I'm going to attach some papers. So the papers I've picked for this one is just this one here, going like that, and then this one for the reverse. Okay, so we're just going to attach these. Obviously, I'm just bearing in mind which way, because I want the little Disney logo to be going the correct way. Don't want it to be upside down. And then just press that down, just like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to go and do exactly the same with this one. Once I hold it up properly, and just stick that down. Just need to adjust it a little bit because the page isn't quite straight. Excuse me. Right, so that's our page done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use wet glue, and I'm just going to do a line along here seal this side shut. Because we need to leave one side open for when we attach it to our hinge piece. Okay. on like that. And I've already went ahead and I have done the rest, covered the rest of my pages as well. Okay, so I'll show you how to attach this first one, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the rest off camera, because I'm quite well aware that, you know, this is quite a long video already. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off the backing paper on this one. I like to work from the back because I find it's easier, but if you find it easier working from the front, then just do whatever feels best to you. Okay. So all you want to do is you just want to open this side here, and you just want to line it up on here. But take great care not to go down to that, not to rest on that score line up here. So if you line on the score line, then it will affect how your book turns and lies when you've folded it. So you just attach it like that, and there we go, we have one page done. And then we also have, I'll get hold of it, there we go, we have a pocket here as well. So I'm just going to pause this and I'm going to do the rest of the pages, and then I'll be right back. Right guys, I'm back. So this is what our pages look like. I have went ahead and I've popped the inserts inside. I'm going to do one now, and I've just attached those beautiful, beautiful butterfly pearls, and this comes from the coordinating pack that you can get from Every Craft's a Pound. So these are our pages, really simple, but there's loads of space for photos on there, you know, and I just really like how it's turned out. So we're going to do the last insert for this page here. We'll need this one out though. And what I'm going to do is, this will be the last thing we do on this part, and I'm going to do the second part showing you how to do the waterfall and the twist and pop, and then decorating the front. So this, for the insert, it measures 7.5 by 5 inches, and I've attached 2 pieces of 3x4 in just white. It's just white card from Hobbycraft, and I've done that on both sides. And then obviously I've just used this Stampin' Up punch from Stampin' Up. So here's the one, I've already went ahead and done them too. You just fold that over, and then get your glue, just apply it all over one side like that, and then just a bit on the bottom. Now the reason I wanted this other one out is because I've staggered them, because I think it looks nice. So it's just so I can like sort of gauge where I want this one to lie, so it's not going to overlap the other one. Over, make sure that that's on. So then they're going to sit like that in the pages. And then the last thing we want to do, excuse me, is just get a butterfly and just stick that on here like that. So when we bring our album back in, we're going to go to the page that doesn't have one. We're going to pop that inside of here. And this one is mainly for photos. I just think it'll be really, really nice. I mean, I love Minnie as well, and I just think it looks really, really sweet. So there we go, they've all got the inserts in. We just need to add our twist and pop element to this part, and we're going to do our waterfall on here, and then we're going to decorate the front. Okay, so I'm going to stop it now, and I'll be back with part 2.